Hey-oh, Gamewank. No?
Is that the football? Is that meant to be?
Aye. No? Okay.
Hold on, what would you chant when the Coupon Man came round? Would you... Pools.
Skull. Pools.
Gamewank. Wank about games. Aye, there's a laddie, Big Jim, was what our Coupon Man was called. He used to come round every Wednesday night, collect the pools or whatever it is he did.
I thought it was run through the paper and stuff like that. I didn't realise it was...
I always heard...
Is that a gangster thing, like numbers?
Littlewoods.
Like to do with the local football?
Something to do with Littlewoods.
Aye, the Littlewoods pools.
Aye.
Really? I always thought it was like a local football thing.
Sorry.
Fuck's sake.
Sorry. Ryan. I don't... like that we've shattered the illusion now that both parts are recorded in the same day, because surely we would have went away and checked what the pills were before part 2. So if you know what the pills is, please get in touch. No, but we're back on Spot the Ball part 2, and as always I'm Barry Topping, and sat to my left is
Guy Woodward.
And sat to his left is
Ryan McLeod.
And sat to his left
Richie Morgan.
So let's find out. Guy, what's your game?
What's your game? What's your game? What's your game? What's your game?
Hey Prince, nice laddies for Broughty Ferry. Hey, Broughty Ferry.
Danganronpa.
Bless you.
Danganronpa.
I've been playing Danganronpa. Fucking...
You can still play the pools.
Fuck the scratch cards, back on the pools.
There you go. Anyway. just Googling it.
When they eventually run out of Japanese youth culture to put in Persona games, we'll have a Persona game set in Scotland. It's like on a rainy night, day the pools. You get a fucking...
Jerry said that he knew a guy who won the pools twice, and he squandered it. So apparently, the first time he bought a car and crashed it, and bought a house and lost it.
Holy fuck! So pretty big one then. What did he lose his house about? I can't even where I live. How am I going to get my pools?
Aye, so you were...
Aye, video games. Guy, you've been playing Danganronpa.
Danganronpa.
For people at home that don't know, tell us what Danganronpa is.
Is that not a Star Wars character or something? That's what it sounds like. Sorry. Sorry.
Like an exercise class that Crusher and Troy would go to. you went to Danganronpa tonight.
Actually sounds more like a game that they'd play at Quarks.
Aye.
That's you fucking tell.
Okay. Is it?
What is it?
Danganronpa is a PS Vita game. It was originally on PSP, and then they decided to put it on the Vita, and it's a bit nicer looking. They kind of fucked about with the menus, made them nicer, and it's essentially a kind of... It's hard to explain. You could best compare it to Phoenix Wright type of game, where it's like part visual novel, and then you get the wee bits of kind of interaction. But it's all about your 15 students. You play as this one guy, and he's all wake up in this school. It's called Hope's Peak Academy, and it's meant to be the kind of school where the best at everything go. So every student there is the ultimate something. So you get the ultimate baseball star, the ultimate biker gang leader. It's all it's Japanese. It's fucking mad. And you get picked at random from normal students to join, so you're the ultimate lucky student. You see. And basically you just fucking wake up in this school, and all of a sudden this wee bear pops up, and he starts telling you, oh, by the way, you're stuck here, and you have to live here forever. Or you can kill somebody and if you get away with it, you graduate and you can leave. And that's the whole point of the game. It's him trying to kind of turn these against each other to force you to want to leave desperately, thus you'll kill another student in the hopes of graduating. But you then have kind of courtroom battles, and if you can find out who is the guilty party, they get executed.
Right.
And it's called Danganronpa because Danganronpa kind of translates to bullet rebuttal.
Okay.
And that's because in the courtroom sections what you do is when you need to gather evidence for a murder, you gather truth bullets. And as you're going through the court battle, the text appears on screen as everybody's kind of getting their wee piece, and you shoot a truth bullet through the bit that kind of contradicts what they're saying. It's a bit like the objection in Phoenix Wright, that kind of idea. But it goes a lot deeper. You have to kind of really think what evidence... like it'll ask you, what contradicts this, right, why? It's not just kind of accepted. In Phoenix Wright, sometimes you think, right, I figured this out, but you've got to wait through lots of stuff to actually get to the point where you use that evidence. You can kind of brute force your way through it with this, and it's a lot simpler. There's a lot less chat going on in the courtroom bits, but it's really fucking brutal.
Right.
So but you're all teenagers, you're all like 15 and 16-year-old, and you're getting stabbed to bits and ripped to shreds, and this happy wee bear's always popping up going, oh, by the way, if one of you doesn't kill the other one soon, I'm going to reveal all your worst secrets at midnight, so you decide. Right. It's really but it's also like kind of part dating sim. You can get close to other people in the school.
Okay.
It's really fucking weird, and everything's all the characters are 2D. So when you're running about the halls, when you play Doom and you can see the sprite turning on itself, on the space, because it's just a flat sprite you're looking at, it's similar to that. So you'll be running about the school and you'll see other students there, and you've got to talk to them. You can build up relationships, or you can give them presents so they'll like you better, and the better they like you, you unlock their skills for the courtroom battles.
So is this sort of multiple different types of gameplay all...
It sounds almost identical to Championship Manager 95.
I was wondering why you played this and then the words teenage dating sim.
Come on to fuck, man.
Brutal executions of
I can't escape.
No, it does sound like a combination of a lot of visual novel style.
It's one of those things as well. The art's really nice. It's dead vibrant, and that's what makes the kind of brutality of it seem worse, because it's a kind of happy-looking wee game, and then all the blood's pink.
Right.
I don't know if that was a censorship thing because it's teenagers getting killed. I don't know, but it looks kind of worse.
They did that in that film as well, didn't they?
Star Trek 6. The Klingons.
Why don't you play in hell?
Aye.
At the end, the blood was pink. I think that was just stylistic though, because there was a lot of red blood as well.
But the film. It's kind of hard because at first I wasn't sure what
they did though. They made the Klingon blood.
Don't me looking at you is not an excuse to continue. Nope.
To make it a bit less bloody. Anyway,
you mean like an Evil Dead?
So the really tough race in Star Trek.
It's weird.
They bled ice in.
Star Trek 6 for some reason is the only Star Trek iteration where the Klingons bleed pink.
How does this fucking keep happening? Star Trek 6 every fucking month. Like.
I just like to watch your face.
It's the least fucking undiscovered country ever. That country's been discovered so many fucking times. Like, you just keep discovering it.
Just like
the rediscovered country. That's what it should be called.
It's like seeing your face every time I manage to.
Do you say face or phase?
Face. I like to see his face every time I manage to.
Star Trek.
Right.
Sorry, what about my face?
I just like the look in your face every time I manage to slip it in. If this was an episode of Mean Bean Machine, that would be the quote that got repeated over and over.
We can do that, Ryan. We can do that. Right?
No
we can do
problem.
that. So Danganronpa.
It's fun. Like, it had me glued to it. I was playing it like just day after day for as long as I could. I rattled through it in maybe a week.
Right.
But I'm definitely going to get the second one. It's just.
When was it?
See, I think it came out. It came out for Vita last year, I think, but I don't know how long ago it was on the PSP. Because apparently the first and second game were on PSP, and I don't know what it was they decided to put them on Vita. But they're just... It's good fun. It felt like something a bit fresh but familiar because I'm right into the Phoenix Wright games. But
How did you come across? How did you find them?
It was I'd seen it mentioned on Twitter a few times, and there was a couple of people that were saying, like, for what I know you play, I think you'd really enjoy it.
Right, okay.
And they kind of described it more and more.
The only thing I really know about it is like what it looks like. And it looks like a Guy Woodworth.
It does, doesn't it? It's fucking
standard
made for me, innit?
How much is it?
I got it pre-owned, but it's immaculate. I got it for like £14.
That's pretty good.
I think the second one goes for like £25 brand new.
Worth picking up then for Vita owners.
Definitely, it's fun, and it's even after you finish the game, you go into a kind of, what's it called? There's a school mode, and what that is, it's like it's set like when you all arrived in the school, but it's as if you all remembered everything up till that point. So you all know each other, and when the wee bear comes out, he's Monokuma, and when he comes out, he's saying he's I fucked up and I forgot to build extra ones of me because he's a wee robot.
Right.
So you are all tasked with building the extra ones, and it turns into like a kind of resource management game where it's like you've got this many days to collect the parts to build another one of me, and while you're doing that, you do a kind of fucking dating sim type shit. It's mad.
Right.
But it is so much fun. It's colourful,
Yeah,
and it's
good.
funny, and at the same time it's a bit a wee bit fuck.
You said the original was the second one on PSP as well.
I'm pretty sure both of them were on PSP, but I don't know how long ago it was. I don't think it was that long ago. Maybe right at the end of the PSP's kind of time, but they look cracking. You wouldn't know you were playing a PSP game, put it that way.
Worth picking up for fans of Phoenix Wright. And
definitely, if you like visual novels and you like kind of usual mad Japanese shit, and it's every character's a stereotype and all, so it kind of no. The bear is the filthiest thing in it. He'll like make he'll take anything as like an innuendo.
Not interested.
The bear will take anything.
Sweats and kind of grabs himself.
A sweaty bear?
And he's a robot.
A sweaty bear that'll take anything.
10 out of 10.
I wish we hadn't called it Spot the Boner, because sweaty bears are much fun.
We can switch that around. We'll re-record it. Sweaty bear.
Just like really distorted. Sweaty bear. Over Spot the Ball.
We'll compromise. Spot the Smith as sweaty bear.
Sweat the ball. Spot the bear. It's like a goalie trying to save a bear. It's like, where's the bear?
Where is it?
Fuck, I don't know. So, Richard, in a fucking complete shock, you've been playing video games.
I have.
Tell us what you've been playing.
I got myself a PS4.
Yes, PS4. So of course that means you've been playing next gen. So which next gen title are you going to be telling us about?
I've been playing Resident Evil. I've been playing the Resident Evil HD edition, which
next gen.
It's called Remake HD. Man.
Is it Remake HD?
Resident Evil Remake.
Is it called
HD?
Is it called Remake HD?
That's the shortened version that people type. Cool people.
Is that why you bought a PlayStation 4?
Exactly for that.
Had the free games dried up on last gen now.
The funny thing is this playing Resident Evil has interrupted my playthrough of
The Evil Within.
Which interrupted your playthrough of Final Fantasy VII.
Richie!
Sorry, Barry.
Had you played the original remake?
Right, so
what's your history with it?
My history with Resident Evil, I had it on the PlayStation 1. Me and my brother had it on the PlayStation 1, but I only played it for a wee bit. But I did that thing where I watched my brother play it for a whole day. And so when he'd finished it, I was like, I kind of felt like I'd played it, so I never really played it. I played a bit of 2. I wouldn't say I was a big Resident Evil person, but I've played it sort of off and on through the whole series. So yeah, I got Resident Evil the remake. I've never played the GameCube version. As I understand it, it's an HD sort of upscale of the GameCube one. It's all the backgrounds have been changed to 16:9. They've given it new controls.
They re-rendered a lot of stuff. The foreground stuff where you'd walk and you'd be kind of behind a tree branch or something.
Right.
That was all made new for it.
Okay,
I think that's the only stuff that's actually new though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, as far as I can tell, because we were talking about it earlier, because obviously I've been playing Evil Within, and the mechanic of burning. What?
I just didn't think that was going to end.
The mechanic of burning the corpses so that they don't get up
and
chase you seems to be in this as well, which you said was added in the GameCube version.
Why?
It wasn't an original.
Why would you stop the?
I'm going to go back to it.
Are you though?
I am.
Why would you play a current gen game when you could play an HD remake of a 2-gen old remake of a PS1 game?
Listen, I got it and I put it on, and I got really sucked into it because I was talking to someone else about this recently, about just in terms of play styles that I enjoy, and obviously Evil Within is. I'm really, really enjoying Evil Within. I'm not going to say anything bad about it, but one of the positive things about it is that it's quite high stress at times. And I think Resident Evil. I think what's interesting about going back to the first Resident Evil is seeing where it was and where it is now. Because it's in my head, because I'm not
seeing all those wrong turns.
Well, I'm just saying because in my head I've not really been a strong follower of the Resident Evil series. When someone says Resident Evil to me now, I think 4 onwards, and 4 is obviously a great game, but Resident Evil 1, it's kind of more like an adventure game with zombies in it almost. It's really, one of the things that I've really loved about it is that I can walk about for ages and not encounter a zombie, so every time it does happen to me, I shit my pants.
The only time as well that a new one will turn up is maybe a significant event, maybe a boss, and you come out and there's a zombie where there wasn't one before.
I guess
rather than they just spawn randomly throughout
It's from a time where survival horror was more of a narrow formula. I think. Not that that's a bad thing, because the classic survival horrors are the...
Well, I think the thing that's really
for a reason.
Great about it, if you haven't played the GameCube version, which you obviously have, so probably. But the one thing that's great about it is that you can go back and play something of that style without it being horrible. I think the last time I tried to play Resident Evil 1 was the DS version. Did you ever play that?
No. I had a wee show.
Deadly Silence. I think.
Is that the first person one where it was you move in tile, kind of.
Oh God, I can't remember that.
You swipe the screen to slash.
That's right. Aye, it's atrocious. It's absolutely terrible.
Are there any there's not a lot of complaints about remake in general.
I saw a few in reviews.
I'm talking GameCube.
All right,
I mean, because that's basically
I heard a lot
one of the best remakes there is.
That's why it annoyed me to see the reviews of this one.
Well, what issues have come up since then?
It sounds to me as if people that maybe didn't play the old one, because they're talking about it like it's a new thing they've never heard of.
Right.
I saw one person saying the mansion doesn't work because it doesn't make sense as a house. If you read at least one of the fucking pieces of paper you pick up, it's not meant to be a fucking house. It's a big horrible place that you're meant to You know what I mean?
Love it.
It's every room's a wee nightmare that's just been rattled onto the next one before it. It's not
meant to look like a semi-detached.
If it was just like a normal house, it would be boring as fuck.
That can't be a legitimate complaint.
Did you not see it? I saw somebody else.
It's maybe just one person.
This is what happens when architects review games.
Honestly,
this wall couldn't possibly be load bearing.
Did you know?
How's this moving?
The puzzles don't make sense, and loads of folk couldn't figure out what to do with the dog whistle.
Oh Jesus Christ! There's a note.
Step out fucking side and use it.
Well, apart from anything, there's a note under the dog whistle that says.
But that would require thinking, Richie. These are the same
it
reviews.
Has, to be fair, it does that. But maybe it's just because I'm conditioned to play.
Stupid, by the way.
I'm just remembering how to play old games, but every time I go into a room in Resident Evil, I run around the edge of the room hammering X.
That's real gaming.
Sometimes a lot of modern reviews of maybe a remaster in an old game or something, I feel like, did you ever fucking play an old game?
There's no waypoints in old games.
There's Grim Fandango, right? One of the things in a review I saw for that was it's probably best played with a walkthrough. You get something fucking wrong with you that you can't figure something out. I said it on Twitter, I finished Grim Fandango when I was about 10.
I know.
I was 10. You ever been to Petrified Forest? That's fucking hard when you're 10.
Aye.
Play it with a walkthrough.
I've
Quit your job.
I've not played the Grim Fandango remake, but the one thing I'll say about it is I was expecting more of a remake. I thought you were going to remake it.
I've seen a lot of disappointment in that it's a bit nicer looking, and that's about it.
I was expecting like a full on. Not that that's a bad thing.
I saw a lot of folk complaining that it wasn't fucking 16:9, that they just bordered it. But
how can they?
It's a fuck. They'd have to re-render all the backgrounds. I know that they like upscaled the textures for like Manny and that, but I'm alright. It just means folk get to play it.
Exactly. That's why I wasn't too upset
get to play it.
Which is why this Resi HD is good as well, because more people will get to play.
The idea that folk that maybe never had a GameCube, don't ever plan on buying one, can't emulate it well on their PC, and you can fucking play it.
Killer 7 next day, guy.
Neil, if you're listening, mate, and I know you are. Killer 7.
He's got a red phone that goes straight to the top. Guy says
Killer 7 HD on Wii U exclusive.
So yeah, no, I'm really enjoying. Like, I think there's just a lot of things that I forgot about it. Just like that quiet, patient sort of tone, and the puzzle element of it. Like, I forgot, because like to me later on, when I think of Resident Evil, I think of like running about shooting things, collecting gems so I can put them on a door and open the door, and it's not something I remember fondly. But this stuff, it's like examining the items, looking around them, and zooming into them and stuff, and finding
a wee
details,
shape, and maybe extends an item out,
and just like, and it's like, or just the way that it leads you into solving the puzzles and stuff. It's like, it's not even, I wouldn't say it was particularly complicated. It's really simple stuff, but it's I find it quite rewarding. And and just again, like when anything horrible happens, it is surprising, or it puts the shits up you. Like, if there's like last night, the first zombie that you encounter was lying on the floor, and for some reason I didn't think to burn him up, because you only get 2 shots of your canteen every time. So I must have ran past him about 10, 15 times or something. And then one time
before
he jumped up and started chasing me, and but and the other, I guess,
just turned it off at the wall. I win.
But and I guess one of the things I've heard people talk about is the save system. Again, which is
checkpoints every 10
one of those
seconds.
Things, like when I switched it off last night, when I decided I finished playing, it's like I think I'd be playing for about maybe 20 minutes, half an hour without saving, and because you only get X amount of saves as well, but there seems to be a lot of ribbons.
I mean, you get 3 at a time.
And
you pick it up.
You get quite a few. But I realised sort of after a few times that actually a lot of the things you're doing in Resident Evil is looking at things and figuring things out, so that if you do die after an extended period, as long as you remember what you did, so that the actual amount of time that you spend doing it again is a lot. I had that short. I lost maybe 2 hours of progress, and then I realised I know exactly where I'm going. Yeah. It took maybe 15 minutes. Exactly. Because it was just a lot of wandering between them.
I don't think you should ever retrospectively add save anywhere system to a game that's built up around checkpoints.
Especially the fact
imagine playing an RPG like a Final Fantasy game where you can save anywhere now.
Like save states just on the spot. It takes
what was it you called it earlier? Save scumming or something?
Aye.
What's that?
I'm sure that's the correct term. It's when you save, say there's something with like a multiple choice outcome kind of thing, you save just before it. If you don't like it, you jump back to your save and get the one you want.
Save scumming.
I'm sure that's what that is.
Is that the term?
I'm sure it is.
That's interesting.
But I think I've not read any of the reviews, but I imagine the only complaints about it are just.
I feel like the negativity is probably folk that are maybe
Spoiled me.
a bit young and never played the original in it, or like any of the old Resis, and they're so used to
it's
the
it's a legitimate. It's built into the gameplay.
I don't want to say hand holding because it's not. I don't mean that.
We are spoiled by like auto saving and save anywhere
Totally.
and waypoints and maps for everything.
And there's some games that's fine with, especially when you can save on the spot and start right there again. That's cracking for some games. But like you're saying, it's part of Resident Evil. It's not just the save system. It's part of the fucking action. It's part
that's the thing that's meant to build up the dread and the way that it works.
You
It's
think
like
you've battled
tension
through a
is-
lot of enemies. You got a wee bit of health left, no items, few ammo. You need to leave the house. Do I fucking save here? Just wee things like that, and you've
So
maybe
where-
got 2 ribbons left, and you're not sure.
It's the way I remember playing games like Resi and Parasite, even Silent Hill, and that. It's like there's like a big kind of tense, scary moment, which is they're all kind of spread out amongst half an hour, 45 minutes, and you figuring out what you're supposed to be doing next, and that is survival horror.
Totally.
And I think when you're talking about old games as well, when you're talking about anything like that, if you're talking about a system, there's quite often you'll go back to an old game and it's just like, look, this is just dated now. Like looking at games with maybe terrible controls that used to be alright, like, but I think with this, it works. It works really well, and I think it's probably the best way you could maybe do a remake of a PS1 game, because it's just, it preserves what makes it great. It just bumps it up a wee bit, but it doesn't take away from anything that made it what it was.
Remakes a bit of a rarity though. Remakes are sort of.
I mean, I still think it was alright that they added the optional control instead of tank controls. I'm fine with that. If somebody doesn't go on with tank controls, fine. But it's when they talk as if it's something hard to comprehend with a tank. Like, who was it was saying?
I guess, are there tank control purists?
Steve Burns was saying, he's like, just remember, up is always forward. That's how you need to remember. You will always go forward if you hit up. So it's no as if, you know, even if you're facing the other way, you hit up, you're not going to go up that end of the screen, you're going forward. Folk don't seem to understand tank controls. If you had your back to a wall, your character's facing the camera with their back to the wall, and you hit up, you're not going to run into the wall, you're going to run towards the camera.
I know, but I find that quite disorientating, because if I push forward, I want to push forward in the direction that me, the viewer, is.
So the alternate control scheme.
No, well, yeah, absolutely. But I was just, is there, because I remember talking about, I tried to play Silent Hill again recently, and I just couldn't do it because of
the first one.
Yeah, because of the controls. I just find them unbearable.
I find that
but a lot of
after
people
that
say to me
spoiled
that that horrible controls is part of the.
Well, that was
the
always
survival horror.
You try, how
experience.
that sounds.
Especially if you try to run past a zombie in a wee narrow hallway.
I don't know, it's like the bit in Silent Hill where the thing comes flying in through the cafe window at first, and I was too busy moonwalking against the back
twisting on
wall.
the spot.
That's true horror. Ryan, you've been very quiet.
Yeah, but I don't really have anything to say. I mean, what I was going to ask, of the older Resident Evil games, what is the scariest bit that sticks out in your memory? I mean, like post.
I was really young the first time I played
Most people,
Resi,
it's that
so
first zombie you meet,
Aye.
that's what gets folk.
The first one?
Aye, see the original, just the turn when he's eating Kenneth. That's most people's kind of, oh fuck. I think because a lot of people, when they first played it, they weren't even anywhere near 18 either.
A mate of mine was terrified of the moth in Resi 2.
Aye.
Like, he got to the moth boss battle and just wouldn't do anything.
The
He
spiders.
just sat there for like 10
I
minutes.
saw a couple
and
of people on Twitter, see, because the giant spiders, that just, nah.
Yeah, I suppose.
There's a section in the second one, I don't know why it sticks out, but I think it might actually be close to the spiders. I'm pretty sure the first time you go through the area, you've just been on a train, like boss bit, so you come back after the train, but there's a series of corridors you go through that's like behind the walls.
Is this with the wooden boards?
Aye, with the wooden boards, and I fucking hated that much.
Aye,
It was
pretty,
really tight
fucking...
and really quiet as well.
Aye.
There was just nothing, and it was horrible.
It'd be
It's
interesting
really
to-
impressive that they can do that they can take the moments of action, but also have that feeling as well.
Yeah. It's funny, you played it as a Japanese import, didn't you?
Aye, a biohazard.
You play with the Japanese VA then with English subs?
No, it's full English.
There's the Japanese voice track on there though.
You can choose.
Have they re-recorded the dialogue since?
No,
Was
it's
it
the same
same
one
as the
for...
GameCube one.
But I saw somebody's modded the PC one to have the Resi 1 dialogue, and it just makes it
right.
even funnier. Because it's the shite.
Nah, that's
Like,
good
'cause
shite
style.
lines
the
in
GameCube
it.
one is
Bit of
still
sync.
quite rubbish.
It's much better than Resi 1's
Aye.
dialogue. None of
Yeah.
that, it hurts, I'm a monster. Oh, that pish.
My favourite thing in Resident Evil 1 is the way that for some reason, the only one that sticks in my mind is when they're all in the hall and it's like before any character can say a line, he has to walk over to his spot.
Aye.
And then turn.
Stop!
And
Don't touch that door.
But so I mean, I'd like if you've not played the GameCube one and you want, if Resident Evil's a thing you fancy having a go of, then it's definitely worth the £15 that it's.
Especially, see when you want to play it in widescreen.
Aye.
It's lovely. There's just that tiny wee bit of pan and scan going on. You don't notice it after about 2 minutes.
Right.
The slightest wee pan when you walk in a room, that's fuck all. It's just nice.
That's so well worth picking up then.
Yeah,
on,
I'd say so.
on
£15
PS4.
isn't bad for 40 hours of gameplay, is it, guy?
Cracking. For fucking cracking. Don't tease that. It
Game
was on-
Master guy
It was
Woodward.
on. Hey, I posted my screenshot and said, "Holla, I'm bad at Resident Evil."
It's the tank controls guy, isn't it?
Where's it? Was he fucking?
40 years. I saw a guy post his time and it was like 2.5.
Aye,
I'm
that was
not
cut.
finished yet, but it's
No,
definitely not.
it's
gonna
because
be-
I always pause games and go and do things and leave it because I'm too lazy to turn it off. It was also other times when it was like, I don't want to waste a save ribbon, so I'll just fucking pause it.
But you hit the PS menu button and it'll.
Suspends the application.
I don't give a fuck about my time. I'm not going for a trophy here.
I don't give a fuck about my time. Just spent a full 2 minutes making excuses.
Shut up, guys. It's not like it matters anyway. Fuck's sake.
I forgot. Like a guy rarely gets a kick in, so we don't get to see his. We don't get to see his. I've just had a kick in the face. But it's a good face. Looks like a captain going down with his ship.
Just thinking one, bro.
When the police finally come, no, I'm a one bro. You can't.
Giza topic.
Can you get born in the Oculus Rift,
Giza topic.
Is it anything like Dark Souls?
Giza topic. A Jibby Savo Lego game.
Giza topic.
There's too many buttons, there's just main meat.
Oh, Giza topic.
Maybe Thomas was alone because Thomas was an asshole.
Giza topic.
Video games, they're for Japanese paedophiles. Giza topic.
I didn't hear an internet, son. I just want to play the games.
Giza topic.
What can field of view sliders tell us about ourselves?
So that takes us on to Giza topic, and we were going to talk about our 2014 stuff, but if
Can't fucking remember, honestly, it's terrible.
guy liked Evil Within, I liked Mario Kart. Right,
Evil
liked
Within
Evil
for me as
Within.
well.
I think I've
Richie,
spunked to Evil Within enough on Twitter.
Of the Steam games,
What
you
Nintendo
walk.
games came out last year?
Richie just didn't really have a favourite. So instead, we're going to talk about, me and Richie went to the Game Masters exhibit at Edinburgh Museum.
Look for a date.
I was with my girlfriend.
Were you the game masters that day?
My girlfriend was there, so Richie was
I was a lone wolf.
the third,
The fucking
the
third
third wheel. Like instead of like a squeaky wheel, it's a wheel that goes. Breathes really heavily. On you. Nah, it's fine.
So what is Game Masters? Because I hadn't heard it.
Well, just before we go any further, there's we'll talk about it in a minute, but there's a section where there's like loads of retro consoles, and they go through the history of Mario and stuff like that, and they had Mario 64 set up. And Barry fucking speedrun it and then completed it.
I did like. There's a speedrunning thing where there's like an endless staircase in Mario 64.
Aye,
You need a certain
aye.
amount of stars to get up, and there's like a speedrunning trick where you can do like a reverse long jump up the stairs. So I completed it, but then when you complete Mario 64, you can't skip the end scene. You have to reset or turn off the console.
Alright.
And the console's like locked away in a box. So that was it.
So it was just fucking
that was
left there.
The end for about an hour. I heard some guys like, "Oh, someone must have speedrun it, man." It's like it did take me about 6 minutes, but so the boy had to
Can it
go.
be done that quickly?
No, it was a save file that had like
right,
50 stars
right.
or so, and I was just like, I'm going to complete this. So the boy had to come and reset it. But basically, it's like the history of video games in a museum exhibit, basically. But
free, or
the
is it-
slant is Game Master, so it focuses on like big kind of game designers. It's not free, no. Was it tenner? It was a tenner again?
That's not bad. For Edinburgh.
It's quite a nice exhibit. All the consoles, all the arcade machines are set to free play.
That's good.
They had some. It was nice to play some.
So you go in
genuine
and you start with
arcade
arcade machines. There's like Donkey Kong.
It does it chronologically.
Aye, you walk around the
it's
exhibit
quite
and
nice.
it kind of goes
So,
chronologically.
yeah, there's Donkey Kong, Pac-Man,
Like Defender,
Space Invaders,
Xevious, Space Invaders,
all the hits. All the hits.
So it starts off with arcade machines before it moves on to the
consoles.
Like all the consoles.
Yeah, I think every console was present. It's just stuff you'd expect. They had like a couple of Wii set up, one with Skyward Sword, a Wii U set up with Mario. No, just a regular Wii.
They had was it an Amiga that was set up with Lemmings? They basically had a section devoted. They had a lot of stuff devoted to like Scottish games and stuff like that.
There was a
There
big,
was all the iconic games.
I thought there was quite a big focus on Sega, to be honest.
Aye. The Shenmue,
Well, there was just a lot
Blue
of.
Stinger.
Well, keep in mind it was game designers. that it was based on.
Aye.
Aye. Was it? Do you think
Nintendo just got Nintendo. I'm sure. Did Miyamoto get his own bit? But then
there wasn't?
the rest was just Nintendo. I mean, I guess
maybe
this is
just
the
'cause they
problem. What's the problem with Nintendo is a lot of it falls under EAD groups rather than actual people. But I'm sure like Zelda games, like Enuma never got a mention. It was just Nintendo.
No?
But whereas like, I mean, what the Sega ones like Yu Suzuki had a section. And,
Right, aye.
I think
which
it
Japan,
might have also been down to what they were able, because they had little screens where you could watch interviews with developers basically, and the
Tim Schafer and
what's the name of the boy that created Sonic?
Yuji Naka.
Aye. And Peter Molyneux and what's his name that did Deus Ex? He did the Mickey Mouse game recently.
Fuck knows.
Walt Disney. Walt Disney's Deus Ex.
That said, the good thing about the Sega slant is they do have that full-size outrun cab and
Aye,
the
cool.
full-size hang-on as well,
Nice.
Yeah,
which is pretty
which I was
good.
terrible at both of them.
It's tricky to get the hang of.
And then they got a bunch of kind of cool stuff as well, like Rez. They had Rez.
They have an Ouya. They have an Ouya.
Did they have any like mad peripherals
No.
stuff?
They never had an
They
Ouya.
didn't have an Ouya.
Did they have like mad peripherals or anything like that?
No, did they?
Like I said, like we said, it was kind of.
Oh, tell you what they did
Aye,
have.
sorry,
they
focusing
did
on
have
that.
a 3DS with all the rubber removed from the C-stick. So that was, I played one game of Mario Kart on the floppy hinge 3DS, and like by the time I took my fingers off the back of it, they were coated in something.
They had
made to have gloves at the
I know
ends.
that was one thing I'd say is all the stuff was
Shiny
a bit dirty.
controls.
I think it's a travelling exhibit. It came from Toronto. I
Ooh.
think it's the last place it was.
Bet you didn't even like disinfect the
The
controls.
controllers were very
They should
dirty.
just all be burned after
One
each
of the
fucking day.
Wiimotes was missing the I think either the A button or the 1 or the 2 button had
Somebody
been
bite
pushed.
it off.
No, had been
they
pushed into the
removed,
controller.
They removed the home
Home
buttons
button, was
from
that it?
all the consoles.
Oh, right, I understand.
From all the control pads and stuff.
Couldn't they stop me completing Mario 64 though?
They couldn't.
Somebody getting in doing the Twilight hack.
But like I watched all the wee videos and stuff. That was
There's lots of nice. There's like a lot of concept art up in there.
There was
some Shadow of the
sections.
Colossus.
I wish
stuff.
I went to that.
There was
Still
a big
on?
Tim Schafer section and stuff like that as well. It was quite nice. It was.
It's like trying to play Parappa the Rapper.
Oh my god!
While
I
about
would
two-
say, yeah.
you
I was
can
going to say
tell it
the
was
one
your
thing,
frustration.
the one thing that bothered me about it is that they had. I mean, obviously, I guess it's just for mass appeal, but they had a dance game. I don't know what the dance game was.
It was
but
Fruit
one of those
Ninja.
Connect dance games. I was more thinking of like through in one corner
Oh,
they had
right,
like
I
a
was-
projector playing that Connect dance
Alright, okay.
game. Might have been Just Dance or something.
I was thinking about the Parappa the Rapper.
And it's like you're in a exhibition about video games, and the sound that is travelling through the whole exhibition. At one point, the one that I remember is the Macarena. So it's
Fuck's sake.
So it's like, and then you go over and try and play Parappa the Rapper, and the volume's turned right down.
Aye.
But the Fruit Ninja that's happening 3 feet away is loud as fuck, and there's like some guy getting all the moves and that. It's like, fucking hell. Vib Ribbon and Parappa the Rapper right next to each other. There's all no headphones. Jesus
No
Christ.
headphones on.
So it was a bit of a mixed. But there was a lot of cool stuff, but there was also like there was one quite big corner dedicated to a PC, or just one PC running The Sims. Quite cool. So some of the
How
choices.
filthy was that?
Wow.
They obviously had a big indie section through the back as well, so they could.
Oh, they do films as well.
Jesus. With PCs and iPads and all that sort of stuff set up.
It was interesting. It was a bit of some of the games they chose were a bit. What was it? I think it was. I think it might have been Xevious. Maybe was particularly good because you could still see the Pac-Man screen burn on the monitor because they'd obviously had to take the monitor out of an old Pac-Man cabinet and it had the entire fucking map screen burn on it. That was good. My favourite part was playing like Missile Command and that and Defender and stuff on actual ancient arcade cabs. That was really good.
That was the best bit. Yeah, it's probably worth just going in there. If you go in there on a weekday when the kids are in school, then you'll probably enjoy it.
But no, it's nice. The wee videos in that. I only watched a couple, but you watched most of them.
No, I watched all the videos that were they were really good. Like this, learning about that apparently Sonic started development as a game about a rabbit who picked up items with his ears and threw it at the enemies. But they decided to change it because he didn't. It just wasn't very.
Did you see the secret Eugene Aka video where he says that Knuckles' favourite food's grapes? Finally confirmed.
Sonic was either going to be a hedgehog or an armadillo.
There was a lot of Sonic, I have to say. There's
just one bit of Sonic.
There was three. There's Sonic 1, 2 and 3.
Aye, there was a section on Sonic.
Aye.
How many Mario games were there? There was 3 Mario games.
2, was there not?
There was original Mario 64 and New Super Mario.
Oh, there was original. Original doesn't count.
I know.
Just thought it was. There was kind of there were some choices. Like there was basically no shoot 'em ups apart from the arcade ones, which I thought was weird.
Never had Mario Galaxy?
Nah.
No.
Surprise.
New Super Mario Brothers. New Super Mario Brothers Wii.
They probably chose that because of the multiplayer element, to be fair.
And how well it controls with a Wiimote.
Yes.
So that's interesting though, you should definitely go along. It's worth
When's it on until?
April or something.
Oh fuck, I didn't know it was that long.
The admission price is worth it for the arcade machines alone, to be honest.
What I've heard you just mention, a tenner seems like fuck all.
No, it's good. It's good. If you actually stop and take in the learning stuff as well, it's quite good.
Aye, if that's what interests you.
If you just fire in there to play some games and you've paid a tenner to essentially fire about.
It's funny how Skyward Sword was on and like Richie went to get a shot at Skyward Sword and Link was facing a wall and turned around and realised it's that big spiral bit where you fight Demise. It's like no. So I get all in Game Masters. It's a tenner again. They got a gift shop as well where you can buy the Mega Drive book.
Oh aye.
So
got to buy that Mega
and
Drive.
also your ticket gets you, was it 10% off or something?
Aye, so
how much is the book?
It was like 35 quid.
It's a very nice book.
It is a nice book.
It does
it's
look
a big,
nice.
heavy.
I've only seen pictures of it. I've not got a reference, a kind of scale. I haven't seen it next to anything.
It's about that, and it's about that thick.
When I was saying like I felt it was a Sega heavy, what I mean as someone that quite likes Sega, I think there was interesting stuff there for a Sega fan, but I don't really feel like there was interesting stuff there for a Nintendo fan.
That's true.
So that's what I'd say.
That might be.
It's a must for Sega fans.
I get the impression
like making it undiscovered Nintendo stuff. It's all what you've seen before.
It might just be the lack of access to.
I think it's probably to do with that.
What about the last gen? Like, what kind of coverage did that get? What did they choose for?
That's a good question.
PS3s, Xbox.
Nothing really. I mean, Fruit Ninja was there, but by the time you got into that section, it was a lot of indie stuff.
Well, because they had a Tim Schafer section.
Castle Crashers.
They covered Brutal Legend was in there.
Yeah, Brutal Legend and Broken Age and that.
Aye.
But again, it was really focusing on designers rather than.
Oh, the other interesting fact that I learned is that Peter Molyneux used to work for a company that exported baked beans. So there you go.
He should have fucking stayed.
Can I import beans directly into Richie's mouth? Fuck. I'd well play a video game, like an 8-bit style video game where Richie's at the bottom with his mouth open and you're Peter Molyneux at the top and you have to pour beans. You have to avoid vines, hazards.
You could just reskin, beat him and eat him.
So if you miss him, then you just like hit different parts of his face. You get a game over screen, but it says Scottish Games John. You
got to avoid Barry taking photos of you.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect.
Somebody make that. Make that.
An 8-bit Peter Molyneux might look a bit like Ryan though. It's not offensive, it's 8-bit, it's fine, Ryan. An 8-bit Richie would probably look quite a lot like Donkey Kong, so can we just take the Donkey Kong sprite and make the top of it silver?
You could just take Donkey Kong and replace. I always thought the barrels in Donkey Kong looked like mints.
What the fuck?
Mints?
Mints.
Mints? You were really bad at
Spoiled
Donkey Kong.
sweets.
That was the revelation that Richie's bad at Donkey Kong.
Just give me a few more minutes. Like, maybe the NES version. The NES version must have been a lot easier. It must have been.
Well, it's good fun anyway, so go along to
Sounds
get
good.
If you gave me a few minutes, I would have been better. But I lost my first life, and Barry's like, "He's a shot."
I put it on 2 players.
Let
Like
me
2 player.
show you.
This isn't really relevant as well, but just that museum is really good. So if you're going to go to
It's
Game
nice, it is a
Master, get a
nice
look around
place.
the museum because it's fucking well.
Is it the portrait one?
No, it's at the National Museum.
Oh, oh, right, the big one.
Aye.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's a reasonably big exhibit. Yes, that brings us. We've spotted the ball and our pills have come in.
Yes.
We should really learn the terminology.
No, fuck, it's better when we don't know.
Alright, cool.
People are raging because they know it, screaming at
Nobody listening to this knows what we're talking about.
Somebody does.
Right, so we'll be back next month.
Aye.
Anyway, with more Gamewank. If you did want to know about our 2014 stuff, just drop us
Aye.
a wee message because that live streams that's been stricken.
It didn't
from
happen.
Instagram.
Did you not hear
Or
Ryan?
if you can hack our YouTube account, it's still on there. So if you can guess our password, you can watch
You
it.
can watch, what is it, 15-20 minutes of us just going, is it
It's about 40 minutes, man.
40?
You tell us when you're seeing this.
0.002 meg upload.
Yes.
Every so often seeing the feed. 20 minutes behind.
We got a Twitch account in that now, so next time we do a live stream, it'll actually work. So that's not
It might be good as well.
So, as always, if you want to get us on Twitter, you can find us at Gamewank, or you can get us individually. You can get me at No Stopping Epoch.
At Laszlo_Panaflex.
At Ryan McLeod.
And at Nightmare Mod Go.
And we will be back next month. So, cheerio as always, and we love you very much.
Bye!
Cheers, mate.
Take care of each
Cheers.
I just like the look in your face every time I manage to slip it in.